4 health hacks that I use daily that take zero extra time. As you get older, it takes more and more effort to maintain health. But as you get older, you also have more and more responsibilities that reduce the amount of time that you have to work on your own well-being and your own health. That is why the things I'm going to recommend today take zero extra time away from your work or family or other responsibilities. The reason it takes zero time is because I'm going to use the wasted time that you have when you do an exercise program. And it doesn't matter what kind of exercise you're doing. It could be a boxing class, it could be running the stairs outside your house, it could be a gym workout, it really doesn't matter. The key is that in every kind of exercise, you have rest time. Apart from long distance running or cycling or swimming, you have rest time in between your sets of exercise. I'm going to teach you how to maximize this rest time so that you do something that's healthy, that over time will add up to lots and lots of minutes and hours of added healthy things you do for your body without taking you away from your other responsibilities and other things that you need to do in life. Very time efficient, very effective, because overall, over the years that you do these things, they will add up to many hundreds of hours of effective health boosting activities that you're doing in your life. Remember, it's not about having the world's best possible method. It's about having a method that you can do consistently over a long period of time. This is how we win the battle to maintain our health as you get older. This battle will require good methods and good knowledge. But it doesn't require perfect methods. It requires positive influence to your health with good methods over a long period of time that you can do consistently, even on your own or even on days where you're very tired or busy. So let's start with the 4 things you can do during your rest time to improve your health. The first thing you can do is breathing exercises. When you're done with a set of exercise, you'll want to breathe more because you're a bit tired. This is a good time to practice light and gentle breathing. This reduction in breathing rate will actually increase further the amount of carbon dioxide your body has at the muscles. This will stimulate the red blood cells to deliver more oxygen to those muscles. This breathing exercise is done under a stressful condition, which means you just finished a hard set of exercise, you feel like breathing more, but you take the effort and the mental focus to calm down and breathe less. This is good practice for using this same breathing exercise for when you are stressed in your normal daily life. When you are stressed by your kids, or by your boss, or by your sales target, you can use this same breathing exercise to bring down stress hormones and reduce the total amount of stress on the body. This breathing exercise also has the benefit of teaching you to breathe with your nose rather than your mouth, and it also has the benefit of teaching you the right position for your tongue so that it sticks to the top of your mouth without you grinding your teeth when you're stressed or angry like this. Clenching your teeth hard and grinding them down and squeezing your jaw muscles increases stress hormone output because all the stressful emotions are like this. Imagine you've just done a hard 1 minute of intervals on a bicycle or a hard set of squats. Now you want to breathe a lot. What you need to do is calm down, breathe only through your nose, and breathe slightly less than you think you need to. You may want to breathe this much, but instead maybe start off with breathing 70%. As you get better at this, you can even cut that down to about 50% of what you think you need to breathe. So if I want to breathe, I actually don't. I use my nose only. I don't move my chest. All the air goes into the waist. That is the first step. Adding to this, you want to have good tongue position. The correct tongue position for relaxation and recovery in between sets of exercise is tongue to the top of the mouth. The whole tongue sticks up against the roof of the mouth. A good way to do this is to smile and swallow saliva. When you swallow, the tongue goes up, and that is the relaxed tongue position that you want to keep for almost all the time during the day, except for hard exercise or when you're talking or eating. So let's practice smile and swallow saliva. That tongue position at the top, that's what you want when you're doing this breathing exercise. So breathe with your nose into your waist instead of your chest moving. Then put your tongue at the top of your mouth, and the next step is to breathe slower than you think you need to. Remember, you want to breathe about 70% of what you think you need to, and later about 50%. And you're going to do it slower than you think you need to. You may want to breathe hard and fast, but slow down and calm down. Breathe about 3 or 4 seconds in. Pause about 3 seconds. Breathe out 3 seconds. And then pause 3 seconds. And then repeat. In 3 or 4 seconds, pause 3 or 4 seconds, out in 3 or 4 seconds, and pause with your breath out 3 or 4 seconds. And remember, you're taking in less air than you think you need to. Do this for a minute, and your whole body will be calmed back down, and you're ready for your next set of exercise. You've also built a healthy breathing habit, and you've built a healthy relaxation habit that you can use anytime in the rest of the day or the rest of your life when you feel stressed. Health tip number 2 that you can do while you're resting in between sets of exercise is stretching. You and I both know that stretching, for most people, we find it really boring and we find it a waste of time. So let's use this rest time to do stretching. Stretching is also a relaxing thing, and stretching helps to maintain joint health. My suggestion is that you do not stretch the muscles that you're using for exercise. You would stretch the muscles in the rest of your body that you found are tight or that you have problems in. So for example, if I'm training my legs, but I want to stretch to improve my health during my rest time, I would actually stretch other muscles that are not related to my leg training. Maybe my shoulders are a bit tight because I have bad posture during the day when I work. So my chest and shoulders are a bit tight. I would stretch my chest muscles during the rest period. Just a gentle stretch, don't go into pain. Breathe out and relax into the stretch. You could also stretch other unrelated muscles. Maybe your neck, maybe your shoulder, maybe your triceps. Whatever you feel is a problem for you, you stretch it during the rest time of workouts that are not related to the muscle you want to stretch. The next thing you can do during your rest time to improve your health is to activate muscles that you cannot feel. This method is opposite from the stretching in the sense that if you're training your lower body, you want to activate the muscles of the lower body so you feel them better and your brain uses them better during the workout. There are dozens of methods that I could use to help you activate your muscles, but most of them require a good therapist or a good coach to help you do them. These 2 methods I'm going to show you today mostly can be done by yourself, and that's important because you don't always have someone available to help you. The 2 methods for activating your muscles during your rest time are: number 1, cross-fiber massage. What this means is very simple. If the muscle fibers, for example my biceps, they go this direction, the muscles are this direction, I would rub them in the opposite direction, this way and also this way. It's a fairly vigorous rub with your fingertips, opposite and opposite, at the ends of the muscle. If anatomy is not your profession, it's okay. Even if you miss by a few inches, it will still give you benefits. You can give it a try. One day, maybe when you're training your arms, you rub the bicep ends here and here in between sets, and the next set you should feel your muscle slightly more. This is a way of activating the muscle. The second way you activate your muscle is that during your rest time, you use gentle isometric contraction. Isometric just means you push the muscle against some resistance, but it does not move. The key to this is you don't need to have a huge resistance. Leave the heavy resistance for your actual exercise. You just need to use about 5% perceived exertion. That means that if you could lift 100 kilos, this activation would feel like maybe only 5 kilos. Just 5% effort. It's very light. It's just to teach your brain to turn on the muscle, not to make your muscle tired. The key is that every activation lasts maybe 2 seconds, but in between, you completely relax the muscle. So if I'm doing my biceps, I would flex with light effort and relax completely. Flex, relax. Flex, relax. The reason you flex and relax is so that your brain is practicing turning on the muscle. Let's say you're doing it 20 times. However, if you constantly keep tension on the muscle and never relax it, your brain only learns to turn the muscle on 1 time. It thinks you're continuously doing an exercise. Because the resistance you're putting is so light and so gentle, it doesn't affect the performance of the exercise you're trying to do. And in fact, it will probably increase the performance because the next set, your brain will be already used to turning on this muscle and it can do the exercise even better. So muscle activation is yet another hack you can use during your rest time to make your nervous system better, make your exercise performance better, make your muscles function better, and take 0 extra time apart from the time you already set aside to exercise. The 4th and final thing you can add to your rest time is self-massage. Most people I know don't have a lot of hours in a week to dedicate to going to see a therapist or a massage therapist or a rehab person for any joint pain they have. So they live with nagging pain for a long time. There are many advanced treatment methods with the nervous system, with the connective tissue to improve the pain that you have. However, most of these require a professional. You don't always have time for this, so here's a simple way you can improve your joint health by yourself during your rest time when you exercise. The key is to pin down the painful area at the same time you move the nearby joint. So let's say my elbow hurts and I move around and man, this area feels really tender. So what I would do is I would hold it down and I would move the joint through its full range of motion, pinning down the area that is tender. Usually it's an area that lacks blood flow, so you don't pin it down and hold there for too long. You pin it down, maybe do one movement, you let go. Pin down, move slowly and let go. Each time you move, maybe it's about 4 or 5 seconds. Then you let go about 4 or 5 seconds. What happens here is that when you let go, blood rushes into the area and it brings oxygen to the area. Areas that have higher oxygen have less sensitive nerves, so that area is likely to become less tender. Tender spots tend to create joint pain in the nearby area. Now, there's other areas you should search for tender spots during your workout so that you know what to massage. Besides areas that are really close to the joint that is uncomfortable, I would also search areas that are closer to the center of the body than the joint. So if I was doing my elbow, I would search around my biceps and triceps for tender spots. If it was my knee that was the problem, I would search my thigh muscles and my hamstring muscles for tender spots. Again, once I find one, I pin it down and move the knee in a full range of motion. The final area you would look for tender spots to move around on is on the exact painful spot, but on the opposite side of the body. This works because our gait means that we move opposite limbs. And so sometimes when there's pain here, you'll find exactly where the pain is, a tender spot on the other side. This tender spot is sometimes even more tender than the one on the painful area. So remember the 3 areas to look for tender spots is the painful area itself, closer to the center line than the painful area, and on the opposite side, exactly the same area where there's pain. Search for tender spots, press it down, move a bit, let go. Press it down, move a bit, let go. So there you have 4 things you can do during your rest time to improve your health without taking extra time away from the important activities in life. This is key because things that don't waste your time, you can do consistently and do often and get the benefits. I did some simple calculations. Let's say you exercise maybe 3 times a week, and each time you go exercise, let's say you do boxing, you do 20 different sets of boxing exercise. In between you rest 1 minute. If you do one of these 4 activities for a minute, every time you rest, that's 20 extra minutes of healthy things you did, rather than sit down and play with your phone. This means that in every single workout, you've done 20 minutes extra healthy things. Now you do that 3 times a week, that's an hour a week, about 50 hours a year. You do that for 20 years, that's 600 hours of extra healthy activity that you've done for your body. If you do it well, that's great. Even if you don't do it well, you do it, you miss by a bit on the tender spot. Or you breathe and 70% of the breaths are good, but 3, maybe you breathe too much with your chest. It's still better than nothing. And as you do it more, you get better at it. You become more and more efficient. You've done 600 hours of extra healthy activity over time. And 20 years is a short estimate, right? Most of us plan to live more than 20 years from today. So this is a great way to add consistency without adding time spent. So I hope you found these 4 health hacks useful. Subscribe to my channel for more science-based practical health hacks that you can use to fight for your health. Fight hard, but fight smart as well.